Robert the On Vapor, and yet another tank today. Review on a tank. And this is the Lemo. This is a rebuildable tank atomizer. It's from, what's it, Eleaf? What does it say? Bump up, yeah, Eleaf. And so, this is not really, it's a K-Fun style, I guess, if you wish. But it is different. Very different. Adjustable airflow. I've got it open all the way. You can hear it. Yeah, I'm even going to bump up the wattage some more on this. Let me crank this puppy up. That's good. Now I get a check atomizer. Okay, wouldn't you know it? It does have an adjustable 510. All right, so let me adjust the 510 because apparently it's gone in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. There's a lot of interesting things about this one. There is. So I got this from, kudos to both Kentucky Josh and Scuba, a couple other hosts on Vapors Nation. They put me onto this. In fact, Josh I think recommended it first, and I was watching Scuba's show on Tuesday evening. It's between 6 and 8 on vapors.tv/Vapors Nation. And he's raving at me, Robert, you got to get one of these. You got to do a review. You got to get one of these. And I go, okay, so I ordered one. So I got it from Smoke Evolution. Okay, so smoke-evolution.com. $40. Not bad, right? And, so I get it. And, I get it. On my invoice, you get a nice little handwritten note. Thank you, Robert. Enjoy the Lemo. We really appreciate your business. Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. It comes with they send a little bag of like golden bears, gummy bear type things. I ate them. But here's the Lemo. Or the box it comes in. Obviously, the Lemo sits in here. Take this out, and you got this, and you got all this stuff here. So you get a manual to show you what it's all about, how it breaks down, how to go about putting a build on it. Cotton. You get cotton with it. Cotton. You also get wire. So it's a very complete kit. I mean, if you had nothing and you wanted to try rebuilding and you bought this, you have everything you need to get going, including a mini screwdriver, additional gaskets. Because the glass tank, it's a Pyrex glass tank. It doesn't use O-rings, okay? It uses gaskets. So it's pressure fitted against the glass edge, all right? You got some spare O-rings in here. The drip tip, this is a complete unit, so the drip tip is there, and you can take that off and use any 510 that you want. A couple of spare screws, they got these other little things where, and you'll see when I break this down how to fill it. It's very similar to the way a K-Fun Light Plus, where you unscrew it, you fill it, you screw the back in. If you didn't want to use that screw, they have a little plug thing that you can use instead to make it easier, so you don't need a tool when you're on the road. It holds 5 mils of juice. Right? Let me see. What does the spec say about that? 5 mil capacity. And it comes with a pre-built 1.0 ohm coiled build in there that, quite frankly, when I got it, and I was looking at it, I didn't know it came pre-built. I open it up, I go, wow, that's got a build in it, A very nice, it's not like a microcoil, but a very nice build around cotton. And I said, screw it. I'll just fill this up and start vaping it. And that was a stellar vape. It was. Of course, I put my own build in there. you know, afterwards, after vaping out a tank. But the pre-built that they have in there was great. It worked great. I loved it. Now, there is one thing that is not published in the information on the Smoke Evolution site, and I haven't looked elsewhere, but I just know it's not here and it's not mentioned. This is not a 22 millimeter Addy. Sorry. Not a 22 millimeter Addy. Oh, and by the way, when you have this on a device and you grab it like this and start unscrewing it, be prepared that this will come off your base quite easily. All right, grab the neural part, make sure you start it there, because if you don't, you could end up dumping your juice. All right, just be aware of that. Now, Nemesis. See it overhanging? Nemesis is a 22 millimeter. I don't have calipers. All right, but this has got to be at least a 23 millimeter device in width, and you know, circumference or whatever. You know, it may even be, it might even be like a 34. I don't know, but it certainly is not a 22. So it's not going to be nice and flush and even with your 22 millimeter devices, right? So even on, let me take this off, take my squape off of the vapor flask, put this on the vapor flask. The vapor flask is 22 millimeter, right? So you see it even hangs over that, all right? So what do I have this set at? Oh, that's low. All right, so just to show you that it's not a 22 mil. So let's take a break now. Let me, mommy's home for the dog. Let me dump this out, clean it out. We'll come back. I'll break it all down for you, tell you what it's all about. We'll do a build on it. Oh my. And this time I'll use the ohm meter. Oh my. And tell you how it vapes. Okay? I'll be back. Alrighty, back. Let me turn on the up top cam just to make sure that's running. So here we're back. Completely cleaned out the Lemo. I call it Lemo. Some call it Lemo. L-E-M-O. Whatever. Now, so let's take this apart. I'm going to remove the base. Let me zoom in with this cam, just in case I need to. All right, there we go. That's it in all the way. So the base, you got an adjustable 510 pin here. This is what makes contact with the center here. Pretty beefy, right? Let's take the rest of it apart. All right, well that came out like that. That's okay. So here's the vaping chamber. Let me unscrew that as well. Your traditional two-part vaping chamber. Right, top. Here's the glass. The compression fit gasket is still on the bottom one. The top portion is in this groove. You may not be able to see that well, but it's there. So they just, you know, as you tighten it, the gasket goes up there, and that's what prevents that from leaking. Not bad. Okay. Put those aside. And here's your deck. There's your build deck. Looks like a traditional K-Fun style build deck. It does have, not only with the tiny little screws, but it does have the little pinholes that you can actually insert wire through them and tighten it down if you'd like to connect, make your connection that way. Underneath here, you'll see here is your fill port. So you unscrew that, fill it, put the screw back in, or use the plug that they, the plug that they provided if you prefer to use that. And you can see your 4 air holes here. All right, so on the outer ring, you can see that you got 4 air holes, and that's what you're seeing here. So now, again, if you take this, screw that on here, this positive makes contact with that positive, and that's how that all works. All right, so pretty nice size air hole coming up through here, right? Very nice. Here is, you see this outer ring here? This outer ring is your adjustable airflow. And it's a pain in the ass to use. It just is. You'll see that here. I don't know how well you can see that. Let me show it on this cam at least. You'll see in here you've got this arrow pointing to the plus, and you got the arrow on the other side pointing to the minus. So you want to increase your airflow, you go to plus. You want to decrease your airflow, you turn it towards the minus. So you see around that center pin, there's that ring with those 2 detents in it. That's how you adjust it. You basically take a tool or something, okay, and you just twist this around. All right, and that's how you adjust it. All the way counterclockwise, is it fully open? Clockwise, fully closed, anywhere in the middle. Now I'm going to take this out. So I'm going to take it out. All right, which obviously is what's holding your top insulator and your positive, right? So I took that out. It goes like this. Don't be a dick. All right, there we go. Right? Wrong. There we go. So, but what I really want to show you is this piece right here. You see how it has 4 holes around it? So you got 4 air holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That supply air up through the center chimney. And when you move this ring clockwise, it starts closing off those holes. So it'd be nice if I had it on camera. As you move this ring, I'll open it all the way up again. As you move this ring clockwise, it starts closing off those air holes. Now this is really loose. Really loose. I mean, you can spin it. All right, you can spin it. You see how that just spins? So I have really not a lot of confidence in if I set this anywhere between fully open to fully closed. If I set anywhere in between there, I don't have a lot of confidence that it's going to stay there. All right, I think with normal use, normal movement, this thing's just going to bounce around, because just look, I'd spin it, boom. Here. Boy, that time I got it. So it just spins really easily. Unless you get it all the way closed or all the way open. Now, even though I can take it all the way, off, you can't do that when it's mounted. All right? So just be aware of that. So let's put this back together. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Let me hold this with my finger. Let me get this dropped in here. And let's screw that all the way up. So screw it all the way up and snug it if you end up taking it off. This is the same part that you would, if you needed to, adjust it slightly so it will work in hybrid mode for you on the evict, I guess it is. All right. Just remember that as you loosen that, it loosens from the positive post. Right, but you can adjust that. I vape this with the airflow fully open. So for me, once I have it set to fully open, I don't have to worry about that thing moving. All right. All right. So let's do a build. Let's do a build. Let's make sure it's right where it's supposed to be on the camera. All right. So I consulted my Microcoil Pro app. Right. I'm going to do 6 wraps of 28 gauge Kanthal. All right, which should put me somewhere, you know, above 1 ohm, somewhere there, I guess. 1.2, I hope. We'll see. So where's my stuff? All right. So I'm going to do 6 wraps around a 7/64 drill bit. 1. Damn, stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's that 3? To get out the spyglass. 5, 6. Let me just take a look. Yeah, that's 6 wraps. Okay. All right, 6 wraps. 6 wraps. Let me flame this. Get my self-closing tweezers. I don't know, this probably come out too raw. I forget. Ooh, I gotta add more butane. It's running out. Come on, come on, come on. Be enough, be enough. Oh, it's close enough. Well, oh well. That did enough. It was good enough. Let me put that somewhere where I won't get burned. All right, let's put this back on the drill bit. Okay, let's cut off some of this excess. All right, excess out of the way. Yeah, okay, so I want to mount this. You can do it horizontal. Some people like to put a little, mount it on a diagonal. You know, whatever floats your boat. You know, this way, that way. This way, that way. Okay, let's, what do I care? Do I care? Or do I want... Let's do it this way. Let me take a screwdriver. Let's loosen these little itsy bitsy little screws that everybody complains about. Itsy bitsy little screws. All right, let's do it on a diagonal. Let me just hold it in place. Wrap this around that screw. I'm not going to use the eyelets. I just want to capture this, you know. This is just easier for now. All right, that's caught there. Let me make sure this is on camera. Let's do the other side. Let's capture it. As you can see, it's a fairly easy build. All right, so I got it captured there. Let me just tighten down a little more, just to make sure it's snug. Snug. Now don't go Godzilla on this thing or ape shit on it. You know, just snug them down. Let me make sure the coil is up above the airflow and that the leads are not touching the deck. Let me pull this lead over here. Let me pull this over here. Okay, let me get that twisted the way I want it. It's above the deck. Let me center it up a little bit. Where are my tweezers? There they are. I want to get it centered over the air hole. That's looking good. Okay, so let's put on the base. And let's take an ohm reading of it. Okay. All right, not getting an ohm reading. Not getting an ohm reading. Okay, so let's go adjust to 510. Yeah, the 510 is pretty much recessed. So let me have it sticking out. I'm going to adjust it so it's sticking out a little bit. There we go. Let's twirl this down. Let's get a reading. Okay, so right now it's coming in at 1.23. About where I kind of expected, which will change once we start heating it up. See what it does. So let me take this off. Let's do the old spinner routine to get these tails off of here. Okay, so let's sort out these coils before we wick it, if they need sorting. So I'm putting it on the Vapor Shark. Vapor Shark is reading it at 1.1. That's, let me drop the wattage a little bit here. All right, let's see. All right. Let me just compress that a little bit. There we go. That's the bee's knees. That's working just fine. So let's take that off and let's wick this. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm going to wick it with what do I have to wick it with? Oh, I'm going to wick it with cotton, organic cotton. The last build I just had in here, I wicked it with Muji, Japanese cotton. So let's try some organic cotton in here. Yeah, let's do that. And for you people to see it easier, let me take off the 510 so this lays flat. All right. Okay. Scissors. How do we want to do this? La da da da. Oh yeah, it'd be nice if I kept it on camera for you, right? All this shit gets more difficult. So what I'm doing here, I'm resting the edge of my scissors against the edge of this base, and I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Let me fluff it out a little bit. All right. All right, good. So that's what we're going to do here. I didn't bring any juice over. Hold on. I'm going to pause the camera and start it back up. I got to go get some juice. Okay. I need a vape. Got some juice. So let's wet these wicks a little bit. Which, when you get the wicks wet, the that's a, you know, it makes it easier to position your wicking. Because it kind of acts like it's not, it doesn't, you know, it's kind of like, oh, a little bit of glue. So, you know, I just take this, bring it around. And what I'm doing is, I'm just laying this against the sidewall. All right? And the juice is just helping me keep it there. You know, I want to make sure this is in far enough so that when you go and screw on the chimney, that it doesn't screw up your build. You know? Now what you don't want to do, you don't want to keep these channels open. Don't pack it in there. Don't do anything as far as the channels. You know, keep that free. Just make sure that all your wicking material, whatever you choose to use, okay, is in the circumference of this vaping chamber. So that when you screw down your vaping chamber, that you're not grabbing your wicking material and then, you know, as you turn it, twist your coil, do all kind of weird shit that way. So let's see if that works in practice. So I want to get this back here. Okay. So I'm taking the chimney. I'm going to bring it down over. Be nice and gentle. I'm going to start screwing this down. Once it catches, there it caught. And then nice and gentle, screw it down till it bottoms out. Okay, and it's, you know, I didn't catch any cotton. And if you want to go back in here with, you know, a fine screwdriver or whatever, and work with your wicking material, fine. Just make sure you don't close it up. You know, get it to the point where it's covering those channels, the juice channels. All right, so that's good. Take the top of your vaping chamber, your chimney. Well, shall we just try it and let's fire it and see how it works. Whoops, got to put on the base. Helps if I put on the base. All right. Oh yeah, okay. So we haven't screwed up the connections. That's good. Let's take this 510 base off. Let's screw the chimney on. All right. Let's put a little e-juice around this O-ring here, just for a little lubrication. All right. It's always a good idea to do that. Now, I remembered that my gasket on the tank that stuck to the tank was from the bottom. All right. And the gasket for the top is still within that channel. You can't see it that well. I get that. So I'm just going to place this here, and I'm going to start giving a little, it's caught. Okay. And now you screw it down until it's nice and firm. This is Pyrex. Make sure it's firm, okay? So you get a nice compression fit of the glass against the gasket, and you shouldn't have any leaks. You shouldn't have any leaks. So shall we fill this up? So let me use this screwdriver, because this one's magnetic. So let's take out the fill port. Let's take the juice. Let's fill this bad boy up. 5 mils of juice this holds. We're getting there. We're close. We are close. And there she blows. Yes. Okay. So now, because this is magnetic, my little screwdriver here, it makes it very easy for me to do this, but this is, you know, it's recessed, so it's a pain in the ass. You know, just let me get on camera. Get it on there and just screw it down in. Okay, there we go. Let's screw on the 510 base. Yeah. Let me just double check the 510 connection. Yep, that's good. Let's put it on the old Vapor Shark RDNA. What do we got going here, folks? Okay, final reading on this right now is 1.3 ohm. I got it set to 13 watts, which is putting out 4.2 volts. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let me bump it up to 15 watts. Whoops. 15 watts putting up, what is it, 4.5? 4.5 volts, I guess. Getting into that heat range, that heat coefficient, yeah. Well, let's go up even more. Let's take it up to 18 watts. 4.9 volts. That's nice. That's chucking the vapor and the flavor. All right, let's take it to 20 watts. 5.2 volts. A little on the high side. Back it down to 18. Okay. That's wicking really well. Great vapor. I can lung hit it. Flavor is really, really, really good. Flavor for me rivals the K-Fun. Okay? Rivals the K-Fun. Compared to my Squape, rivals the Squape. Both of these are excellent vapes. Both of these, when you're dealing with your traditional K-Fun styles, the airflow capabilities are far superior than, you know, a K-Fun style. Vape quality, overall vape quality, for me, superior than a K-Fun style. And a lot of that has to do with this being capable of a much airier draw, so I can lung hit it. So if you're a lung hitter, this will definitely work for you. Definitely work for you. All right, so is it worth the money? And what does it cost? Well, let's go over The good, bad, and the ugly. Good, Pyrex. The bad, it's all exposed. All right. They do sell replacement tanks on the Smoke Evolution site, so that's a good thing. Maybe somebody will come out with a steel tank for it. Who knows? You can use your own drip tip. That's good. It seems to be a fairly easy build. I think it's easier for me to build on this than a K-Fun Light Plus. Airflow. For me, because I use it wide open, it's not an issue. However, you saw how loosey-goosey that was, all right? So, it has adjustable airflow. I'm not all that confident that it's going to stay where you want it during your entire vape, so you may be taking off the 510 connection periodically and to readjust that. Then again, who knows, maybe there's enough compression between putting on this 510 base to the Addy that stops that from moving. I don't know. I don't have a freaking scope to get in there and play around with it. But that might be what's going on with this. I don't know. All right. So the airflow adjustment is a definite possible, okay, negative as far as it's staying where it's supposed to, other than tight or open. You do have an adjustable 510. That's a plus. That's nice. Any other negatives? Well, just trying to adjust the airflow, get there because it's so recessed is a pain in the ass. The fill port being recessed, having to use your Phillips head and it's recessed, that's a pain in the ass, not to get out, but to get back in. All right, so you may find yourself going to that plug system they included. All right. Other than that, this thing has a stellar vape. Stellar vape, stellar flavor, stellar vapor, rivals the K-Fun. The Squape, superb vape, right? Superb machining, superb, quality materials. This is just a fabulous item, easy to build on, won't short because you have the e-metal coating. $170, $40. $40 for this. Is this a recommended buy? You bet your butt, okay? This is no question a recommended buy, despite any of the negatives that I may have said, This is a great, great vape. For $40, holy crap. Save yourself like $60 and don't buy a K-Fun Light Plus. Buy this, all right? Don't buy a K-Fun or, K-Fun style or a Russian. Buy this to save yourself some money. If money's not the problem and you really are sold on the K-Fun styles, fine. But I'm saying for $40, this is worth every friggin' dime. You get the vapor, you get the flavor. The Lemo. Made by Eleaf, which I think is a Joytech thing. Eleafworld.com. You can go in there to check it out. The Lemo. Eleaf. Robert the Arm Vapor.